I've talked about this before, but I'm gonna say it again. Ooh, so this woman on Twitter, she talked about how, like, her boyfriend was struggling to get a job, or just didn't want to, whatever. And how basically she was like, hey, baby, you're a shoo-in for this job. They'd love to have you. You're perfectly qualified. It's an amazing job. And it'll totally fucking help you out, and it'll be perfect. You want to know what they did? They said, hey, you just have to stop smoking weed for like at least a little bit so that then you can get the job and pass the drug test. You want to know what the boyfriend did? Kept smoking weed. So now they're still unemployed. Fucking stupid. And then those same niggas, like, oh my god, dudes want to be all, ooh, women don't support men and women don't uplift men. And then when we do, they fail to support or push themselves and then turn around and still find a reason to blame us or blame society. It's the most dumb shit ever. Shut the fuck up. Like, and I just chimed in. I was like, this gives me flashbacks to all the times I have seen men complain about their sucky jobs and sucky lives just to turn down every opportunity given to them to make their life better, and still have the nerve to be like, the world isn't nice to men. Like, nigga, no, you're just a leech. You're unreciprocal, you are unself-aware, and you are unkind to everyone you meet. You chose the life you have, so deal with it. Like, this one guy, I recently cut him off, JC, because he just got on my nerves. Like, he wants to be all, ooh, the world doesn't care about men's emotions. Nigga, you have left me for dead several times whenever I was going through it, despite me being there for you. And he will always just be venting for the millionth fucking time about something he can change at any fucking point. In fact, I remember I once threatened to stab this nigga, and I talked about it. We still somehow met up a few more times after that, but I don't know, men don't make good life decisions. You shouldn't fuck a chick that threatened to kill you and almost did kill you. Like, I pulled out the switchblade and everything, but he's a fucking idiot, and you're gonna hear more about that. Him being an idiot, not the switchblade. It's like, I'm just saying, it's like, oh, I'm so tired of living with my family. It's so miserable. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, I can't live there anymore. It's always fighting, always yelling. It's unhealthy. I'm stressed out. They're so controlling. And then I've been like, hey, if you want, I actually know an apartment. And also, hey, even my own space is like looking for somebody. And also rent's like extremely cheap. Like, if I said how much the rent was, you would truly be like, holy fuck, that low? It's like, let me get this, like, I'll put it this way. The rent was so incredibly low, and it's like, nigga, you could work like 2 days, like, instead of complaining all the time about your shitty job at a factory or a construction site this day, and then following it up immediately with a dishwasher job and only getting like fucking 2 to 4 hours of sleep at night at absolute best, and most nights not sleeping and having a terrible home life. How about you just, you know, hey, how about you live on your own here? You could save money very, very quickly and get your life together super fast. You could even go back to college. You could work like 2 days a week at one single job and have all your bills and everything you need covered and money left over. Like, and we live in a super expensive place. You could have it all, dude, but he would still be like, no, 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 no. And then guess what? It's been how many fucking years? And he's still in the exact same position. Still fucking miserable, still everything. And it's like, the only thing is now he's starting to develop crow's feet. And he's starting to age, and his face is puffy. I'm just saying, it's nothing is quite as disappointing as seeing like male potential get wasted, especially because it's like, nigga, you could have been an engineer. He could have graduated from college when he was fucking how old was he? Like 21, 22 or something back then. It's like, you could have graduated from college if you had any fucking backbone to stand up for your family at all. When they tried to punish him as a full-grown man in his 20s for losing his virginity to me on his own free time, despite him getting passing grades and investing money in the house at his job and all that. They tried to put that man on punishment. Fucking stupid. Like, it's actually the dumbest thing ever. It's like, they should have taught him about sex ed and, anyway, whatever, they're stupid as fuck. And if you're wondering, yes, I also told his, family. I was the one to snitch to his family back in the day about us fucking. I wanted to make them mad. They got, let's just say religious people are, sometimes they're not the healthiest about communication. But, you know, time passed, but even then, yeah. I feel bad about it. He forgave me for it. He's still an asshole either way. He was an asshole before it, he's an asshole after it. We both kind of low-key don't care about the other. But we do, in a weird way. I don't know, it's complex. Well, Sorry, I got sidetracked for a second. Regardless, this nigga will just keep complaining about a situation and then not changing it. And it's like, okay, cool. Now, instead of, like, you could have been an engineer making a shit ton of money, having extremely low rent, stacking cash at your high-paying engineer job, and then years later, you could have had tons of money to shell out to your family for this, that, and the other. But no. Instead, you want to get, like, 2 hours of sleep a night and just always smell like dirty fucking dishes and dust. and you always want to be fucking. It's like you chose that. That's what you chose. And then he still, last time we met up, he still tried to rant about how the world isn't very nice to men, and how the world isn't very kind to men, blah blah blah. And he was saying this as he laid his head on my titties, and it's one of those things where it's like, like I agree that the world could be nicer to men, but it's like, no offense, like, most rape cases get thrown out, dude. A lot of terrible people get slapped on the wrist or still allowed at their universities or this. Like, I'm just saying, it's like, no, if it, like, come on now. There's a lot of terrible shit that has happened because of men in this fucking world. Like, I believe that we should care about them emotionally, but do they care about us back? Exactly. How about you give the effort that you want to receive? The golden rule. It's like, no, but you just want to be a sucky black hole with fucking darkness and emptiness and nothingness. And frankly, it's just like, there, so many times it's like, okay, nigga, you keep talking about having crushes on girls, but then you don't even make the first move of even trying one little bit of flirtation with them. You don't do this, don't do that. How far in your life, like, it's one of those things where it's like, if you're a young hot guy with a lot of potential and you don't bank on yourself, then you're just wasting it. Like, you know, you're not investing in yourself, you're not learning any life lessons. So it's like, what, do you want to just one day wake up and be 30 and not have any fucking idea on how to make eye contact, sit up straight, how to talk to a woman? No, you just not at all. Fucking idiot. Like, come on now. He's a stupid bitch. Anyway, I cut him off recently because I just kind of got fed up with him. I just was like, you know what, this nigga is inconsistent and never has, like, or at least when he has been there, even then it was on his time, not mine. And I thought to myself, why do I have this nigga around? Let him, if he really thinks the world isn't so kind to men, then let me stop being his support system, because he doesn't value that shit anyway. He doesn't take my advice and doesn't truly listen to my words or care how I feel. So, hey, like, imagine if I just upped and died or killed myself or was in a travesty. In fact, several times, he was not there for me. He knew the stakes and he was not there for me. So it's like, okay, nigga, if you end up taking your life, that is not my issue. Just like how it wasn't yours when it's like when I was going through hard shit, you were not there. And vice versa, I was there for you. So now it's like, okay, you think you thought you didn't have a support system, you definitely don't have one now. Anyway, this got morbid, but let me talk about something a little more lighter on the same topic. I remember I actually had a falling out with my ex Liam because of this. Because I'll put it this way, I was having a mental breakdown really, 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 really bad a few days ago. It was terrible, fucking terrible, and I just kind of was like, you know what, I don't know if I'm gonna be alive by the next morning. Let me just say some things just to, like, say them. And I left a sweet message about how I think he has a lot of potential and a lot of things, and I hope he explores his life. And I don't want him to, like, just one day wake up with his dad's hairline, you know, a hairline that reaches his fucking nape instead of the forehead, and just, like, have his teeth fall out or whatever because he doesn't take care of them, and then just, like, I don't know, like, lose his pretty boy potential and not learn how to, like, ask out women or, like, you know, like, make more friends and this and that, and how I truly do want good for him. But he lashed out on me, and I just kind of thought to myself, this nigga's a bitch. And I kind of thought to myself, this nigga's a punk ass bitch. I'm out here trying to be nice to him, and he's out here being a pussy. So, you know what, let me see, like, let's just cut him off. I was like, do I want to deal with a man? Because it's like, nigga, it took you 3 years to buy a bottle of peroxide to fucking use on your nasty, rotting yellow teeth. And nigga, it's like, nigga, you live 2 minute, you work 2 minute walking distance from the fucking Walgreens where you could buy it. It costs $2. It's like, I'm just saying, it's like, okay, nigga, you can just fail because you are trying to punish your support system. I went off on him. I was like, nigga, I tried to get to know you. I tried to talk to you. I tried to care for you. You embarrassed me each time. You showed that you were not reliable for the sake of emotional care, or for, like, you weren't valuable for shit aside from sending me money, which is not what I wanted. I wanted to care for him. I wanted him to care for me back in a good way, but no. Instead, he got upstaged by random niggas who I knew for much less than him, and it's a shame when a random ass nigga you meet online for, like, a week-long fling can, like, upstage a dude you've known for 3 fucking years. But if you were to ask him, he'd claim he does not have a support system, but guess what? No. He had rich parents that happily sent him to college. He didn't know what he wanted to do to college, and I do believe that they sent him too fast and pressured him. Definitely, that was not good, but you know what? He still dropped out. and then never went back. Despite full ride scholarship to an amazing school, he dropped out and never looked back. He didn't take care of his skin hygiene, and I remember, like, the nigga went out of his way to sabotage himself. So it's like, if you got a hot girlfriend and you're tired of people saying that you look ugly in comparison to her and flirting with your girlfriend, how about when your girlfriend gifts you a lotion to use on your face and teaches you how to use it, instead of just throwing the shit away or hiding it and pretending you lost it, how about you fucking use it? You, like, one single step of putting on lotion and you can't even do that? And he's one of those dudes that will be like, oh, I want to stop smoking so much weed, but then he will also just, like, keep buying weed and never, ever, ever even remotely try to go, like, without smoking it for a single fucking day. Or for more than, like, 3 hours, then he's gonna start losing his fucking shit. So we usually had to hang out at his place because like, he had a limit. Or he would bring weed over, and even then that was kind of rare. He acts like a victim about, like, not getting dates or anyone else aside from me, and it's like, well, yeah, it's your fucking fault. You are letting your teeth turn dandelion yellow. You don't floss. You have tons of plaque that you don't need to have. You complain about, like, people not finding you attractive, and yet you don't, like, you work at a grocery store and you still eat like shit. You don't eat any of the healthy organic options provided for you that can actually, like, I don't know, bulk you up or make you fit, and you get an employee discount. There's no excuse. You live directly next door to an apartment in-home gym, and you don't remotely use it. You are the type of asshole that will be like, oh, Tamia said she wants to meet at 1 p.m. I'm gonna wake up at 4. Why doesn't she want to meet anymore? Or, like, come on now. It's like, you suck. It's like, you had a support system and I gave up on you because you just kind of proved that it's like you couldn't even put lotion on your face, or fuck, like, it could be we go to a comedy club and then, like, I say, like, the usher comes up and he asked Liam, he was like, hi, would you like to sit in the front without a table or in the back with a table? And Liam looked at me, and I remember I said, oh, it's okay, baby, you could choose. I trust you. And then Liam just, like, stared at me, then stared at the usher, then stared at me, then stared at the usher, then stared at me, then stared at the usher, over and over. So long that I eventually just said, okay, I'll in the front, please. And we got seated in the front. As soon as the usher walked away, Liam looked at his chair, and is like, oh, I wanted a table. I said, then you should have said you wanted a table. He asked you. I don't get what you're complaining for. And he kept trying to complain. And I said, Liam, you're not going to sit here and complain to me. You walk up to that man who's 5 feet away, and you go ask him to move us to the other table then. And he tried to refuse. I said, do it. And I'm just saying, Liam is he set himself up. Liam used weaponized incompetence multiple times as we dated. Like, nigga, I'm, like, the type of nigga to be like, oh, hey, sweetie, you said you want me to look up directions to, fucking Fogo de Chao? Cool. How do I do that? It's like, what do you, the same, like, I remember the day I clocked him on that, he still tried to put in more effort on throwing a fucking tantrum at being caught being weaponized and incompetent. It's like, nigga, you know how to use Google Maps. There's only one single Fogo de Chao. Do the, like, how else, like, the same way you learned how to get here, learn how to, like, come on now. He's fucking pathetic. And also, I was gonna say it, a lot of men don't, like, they claim they want their life fixed, but they won't fix it for themselves, but at the same time, they hate when other people suggest how to fix their lives. Even if it's amazing advice that they know would work, they still hate it because they didn't think of it themselves. I've said it before, I had a buddy of mine in the comedy scene. He was such a bitch. He just would always be like, oh, they hate a straight white male in the comedy scene. I'm like the devil to them, blah, blah, blah. Shut the fuck up, white man. And yes, it's like, it's one of those things where it's like, ironically, we don't like white dudes in the comedy scene out here because they talk like that. Because every white dude wants to say they don't like white dudes. But then every white dude gets on stage and just says slurs. Or if it's not slurs, then it's just like toilet humor or dick humor. It's like, yeah, you're getting washed out by people who have opinions on, like, the world and more than just, like, the fact that they're born a man or that they're, like, white and stupid as fuck and ignorant. What can I say? Like, yeah, you're gonna get mocked by the chicks who actually bother to talk about anything else but their genitalia, or, like, black people who actually know about comedic timing, and, like, come on now, just try. Every nigga wants to get on stage acting like they're fucking Steve-O and they're shocked that it gets old. Like, yeah, you're gonna get outdone by other people, motherfucker. But for this specific comedian I was friends with, he would still yap, yap, yap about how he wasn't given chances, but then he wouldn't write jokes. He wouldn't practice jokes. He wouldn't go to open mics. And when he did eventually go to open mics, he would insult everyone there on a mic. And and then he'd like imagine someone just being like, oh my god, they don't give me a chance in the comedy scene and people hate me for some reason and they don't like me, and just like, what's going on? I'm trying to be nice and they don't like my joke. And then the whole time he will get on stage and be like, I didn't write a single joke up here, but I just wanted to say fuck all of you, I am better than you. And I'm not even kidding, he would be like, I'm better than you and fuck all of you, my name is this name, and suck my dick. And then he'd drop the microphone, and then he'd be like, why does no one put me on their showcases? And eventually I hate that it took so long for me to say this, because I really was trying to be patient with this nigga, but eventually, I'll put it this way, he started doing more dumb shit. Like, I heard his jokes that were actually funny, that came naturally, that he didn't write. And he had this amazing joke, and it goes like this. So, he has a joke that's actually about being a white male that's funny. His joke is like, oh, I work as a door guide to a bar, and oftentimes people will see me as the devil because I'm a white, cis, straight male. And this trans woman, she comes up to me and she's wasted, so I don't let her into the bar. And she just loses her fucking shit on me. All hell breaks loose. She starts screaming her head off on me. And then she says this. She says, it's because of people like you that people like me die in these streets. And you know what I said to her? I said, yeah, you're right. Irish people really shouldn't drive drunk. And that was one of his funniest jokes to me. I love that joke. And anytime, like, I was around him and someone was like, oh, you're a comedian? Say something funny. I would be like, do the trans joke. The drunk driver trans joke. And then, like, he would say it and he'd get a big laugh. And then a few times he was like, oh, nice, huh? But then I remember once it was his sober celebration, an event he threw for himself at a comedy, at his open mic that he, like, produced to celebrate being sober, you know? And it was a full crowd, full audience, tons of comedians, tons of, like, audience members, all that. And he finally went on stage. He had to hype himself up. And I think this time he actually did try to write material, but it all wasn't funny. And it doesn't help that he's an asshole, so he just makes up terms. He'll just say some shit from, like, I don't know, the fucking Odyssey, or the motherfucker, like, or he'll just reference some extremely niche, like Kafka, or he'll just make up a term like Safeway Catholic. Nigga, not even ChatGPT or Google or Reddit knows what a Safeway Catholic is. No one knows what that is. I've met tons of I date and fuck a lot of Catholic people. None of them know what a Safeway Catholic is. But sorry, my producer comedy friend, he will just be like, oh, everyone else is just fucking stupid is all. They're just idiots. And he's that type. So he was performing on stage saying a bunch of niche shit that no one understood and a bunch of shit that wasn't even funny. They were just sentences. And people were getting bored. And he was getting insecure and nervous. He wasn't freaking out just yet. A little here and there, but subtle. But he was sweating and nervous. And eventually he was like, all right, well, I'm about to go. And then I see he's about to pussy out and get off stage. I can always tell when a nigga is. So I just said, so I mouthed from the back. I waved at him and said, and he said, Tamia, what are you mouthing at me back there? I said, trans joke. And then he's like, oh, that one. And then he performs the joke, and guess what happens? He gets a huge fucking slow build roaring laughter. Everyone in the bar started laughing like fucking hyenas at the incredible comedic genius of that joke and how funny and jarring but amusing it was. And instead of him being happy, this nigga glares at me. And I mean like a full-on, like I wish you could capture the amount of full-on bloody hatred this man had in his eyes. 'Cause he was mad that the jokes he worked on himself didn't work. But the joke that I remember telling him was good, that he didn't believe in, got a huge laugh. And that kind of fucked with his ego and made him think that, oh, I didn't do it myself. This isn't my win. It's her win. Fuck her. She stole my moment type shit. And let's just say the ego and selfishness fucking, yeah. So that's why me and him aren't super close anymore. And same for Liam. Eventually I got tired with Liam because it's like, okay, actually I remember this. This is one of the things that led to me cutting off Liam recently. This is what happened. So, I was at Liam's house. And I was drawing in my sketchbook as he was playing like Dark Souls or whatever. It was early in the evening, and I was in a good mood. We got quiet, but we were happy. And I just said, "Hey, baby, out of curiosity, like, I'm drafting up a list of things I want to do for myself in the future. Like, like a bucket list, like big things, small things, like as big as like a trip to Costa Rica or like Japan or having my own house with a garden someday and a koi pond, to like small things like I want to try more like unique Japanese Kit Kats, or like I want to learn how to make sourdough, or like I want to make more perfume out of like random flowers, and paint more, and like learn certain types of dance styles." And I asked him, I was like, "Is there anything that you by chance have on your bucket list, like anything at all, like big or small, that you want to do for yourself or try?" And instead of just being fucking normal, this nigga just goes, "Well, baby, what if I don't have to think about that right now? I just want to relax." And the most whiny bitch-made voice ever. He has talked. I don't like when he does the whiny voice, because it's like, nigga, you are 26. It wasn't cute when you were 23. It's not cuter now that you're 26, about to be 27 in like a goddamn month. Ew. Gross. Gross as fuck. Ew. Ew. Sorry. I don't like that shit. Ew. But as I was saying, bitch ass nigga. This nigga got an attitude, and then I just said, "But I just want to, just big or small, anything. Like, what? There's nothing you want to do for yourself? Like, that's nice? Like, it doesn't have to be anything big. It just be like anything, like even the smallest stuff. I guess I'm just curious. I want to know more about you." And he just like totally fucking lashes out, and then he's like, "Well, what if I just don't have anything that I want to do, huh? What if I just don't have anything that I want to do?" And he just started fucking yelling at me, and then I started crying, and I just said, like, "I was just trying to get to know you. I listed small things I want to do myself. Just, it didn't matter, like anything small. I just wanted to get to know you because I wanted to know more about you, because I feel like I know less about you than before." And then things got terrible, and the energy got really fucked up, and I almost went home. Ugh. And I think this happened the same night at some point. Like, I forget if it's the exact same night or another time. But honestly, all the times with him blur together, because every single time we hang out, he's the same. Sitting in a room playing Dark Souls, being him, and not wanting to do anything different at all, ever. He's so pathetic. And I'll put it like this. This nigga, I remember that a buddy of mine in the comedy scene actually paid for classes from like this comedian we both knew, who was always on these big stages and stuff. And I thought to myself, I kind of want to tell Liam the good news, but I don't know how he'll take it. But I think I really want to tell him, because I really like Liam, and I want to let him know what's going on in my life and tell him about the new updates, and maybe we could even bond over it, and I can encourage him to take it with me if he wanted to. And I just said, like, "Hey baby, I got these comedy classes that a friend of mine actually signed me up for in the comedy scene, like, so now I get to learn jokes from that big comedian that we both love. The one who you saw at these different events. I'm really excited for it." And then this nigga just like stares at me resentfully, and then just goes back silently to playing his game, kind of huffy. And then I just get hurt, and I'm like, "See, I didn't want to tell you, because I just had a gut feeling that you were going to act like this, that you were going to do something to make it negative and make it a downer." And then he huffed, and then, yeah, it's like, I'll put it this way. Stop complaining about not getting bitches on your dick when you aren't nice anymore. You don't have any hobbies or interests or personality. He was the type of dude where it's like, I would ask him anything about himself. I would talk about politics, video games, movies. He doesn't have an opinion on anything past "I don't know," or like a small awkward chuckle before he just stays silent, or just staring at you silently. He's a vacant man. I don't I'm trying to be so sweet. I can say something really fucked up. I'm just gonna say it. Make yourself useful. Like, you can't complain about not getting bitches if you don't drive, you aren't hygienic, you don't try. I was trying to help him out, and then recently I ended things with him, because I just was like, I just thought to myself, I'm tired of this nigga being around. And I'll put it this way, I tried to be a support system. I tried. He was not putting in the effort. And it's just depressing to know that it's like, okay, the same loser mindset that he had when he was like 14, 15, 17 or whatever is still not changing almost a whole decade later. Like, his family used to be like, "Hey, Liam, You said you wanted to stop smoking weed, and yet you still always blow all your money that we give you on it. You dropped out of college and say you want to go back to school, but then don't. You say you want to do this, but don't. You say you want to hit the gym, and we offered to take you and paid for your membership multiple times, and you never showed up. Like, what the fuck's going on, dude? And he just has Peter Pan syndrome, and it's just like, okay, well, you can't complain that I'm gonna start dating men who actually have, like, jobs and careers and, like, actually can at least say things like what they want. Like, come on now. I'm just saying, it's like, help your fucking self at some point. Because I tried to be a support system. I've been, and that's the annoying thing, is like, as a woman, you can be a guy's shoulder to cry on, and he will resent you for it. He will think that, I forgot, that's the reason we broke up. Because I remember he tried to say that it felt like I was nagging him. And I had to explain, it's like, it doesn't matter how I say it to you. I say it gently and softly and ask it. I demand it. I'll say it quietly. I'll yell it, and nothing gets changed. It doesn't matter how sweet I talk to you, baby. It just doesn't change the fact that it's like, things aren't getting done. Like, why do I have to beg you to take me on a date? Why do I have to, like, beg you to, like, take care of your face? All this and all that. And he still tried to flip it onto me as if I was asking for too much, or as if I was just this nagging old lady trying to be his mother. And I just had to explain, it's like, I just feel like, I was speechless, but I did just say, it's like, no, I just think you don't care about what I want. And no matter how I say it or what I want, it doesn't change. And then, yeah, lo and behold, I broke up with him. And I remember the instant satisfaction I had when I realized I was single. It was empty, but it was nice. And then I fucked Morgan the same night. And Liam was heartbroken, but it's like, fucking get good, bitch. Sorry. Well, that's a little mean, but it's like, that nigga saw me cry how many times and did nothing? Yeah. I'm just saying. It's one of those things where it's like, I get very tired of hearing men talk about how the world's against them, how no one's in for them, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, no, you just aren't trying, and you're mad that it's not. That it's like, okay, it's like, yeah, you can't just not brush your teeth for 5 days and have potato chip flaky skin and, like, no personality and refuse to do anything but play Dark Souls repeatedly as I sit next to you and wake up at 4 p.m. when you know the sun goes down at, like, 3:30 and expect me to still hold an interest in you compared to someone who, actually functions as a human. Like, meeting dudes who will claim they want my support and my advice and then never take it because they don't respect women and they don't respect advice, and it's just terrible and it fucking sucks. These niggas disgust me. It's just like, yeah, nigga, bye.